Right, tonight I've been at the Wee Red Room in Edinburgh to see three electronic bands, Bashua, Cineas, I think they were a French band, weren't they? And Alluma, who I'm speaking to right now. Tonight, as I say, I'm interviewing Andrew Barraclough and Clare Turnbull, a duo from Edinburgh. How do you form the band, Alluma? And where does the name come from?
Well, we knew each other from many years ago when we used to be in a band together, and we've just always kept in touch over the years. We were in a band in the 90s, and that kind of we drifted apart and didn't do music for quite a long time, and then we got together again over lockdown. We both happened to be living in Edinburgh, or close to each other. I'm in Edinburgh, and he's in Fife, and we just thought we'd have a go and see what came out after 20 years of not doing anything.
Yeah, we used the analogy of rusty water. We thought, let's get the rusty water out of the tap for a while, and then hopefully some nice clean Evian water will turn up. Sparkling, yeah.
Well, I've been a follower of your music for about 2 years now, since you first released your song "The Great Silence." You draw a lot of influences from the 80s bands like Yazoo, New Order, Pet Shop Boys. What are your inspirations and who inspires you?
Who inspires you? Do you want to go first? Claire's got so many inspirations.
I don't know really how to answer that because there's so many and it's difficult to know who inspires you to do what. But I've always been a massive fan of David Sylvian, so probably he's my longest term musical inspiration. Probably since I was about the age of 9. And then, there's just too many there's just too many bands to say, really.
Mine's just people who do anything with passion. You know, some of the 80s pop acts will just throw away things, but others have real passion to them and what they did. Anything that makes me feel something, I like. So a lot of early Depeche Mode and early Yazoo, anything Vince Clarke does really. Just if it makes you feel something, I like it. If it's in a minor key, even better.
Oh, yeah. Everything has to be in a minor key.
Yeah.
So who's the creative one? Is it Clare or is it you, Andrew?
We're both. We both bring different things to the party. I mean, we definitely start off with I've written some songs and Claire put some vocals on, but now it's very much like we arrange together, we get our ideas in together, we strip out bits together, we kill out little babies as we call them together, and it's becoming. I think because when we started it was in lockdown, there was you couldn't get into the same physical space as someone else, so it was all by file sharing and WhatsApp. But now we can actually sit together and twiddle things and think about things
and rehearse together. We can actually hire a rehearsal space and bash things out.
But we're always WhatsApping things, like even music sometimes to each other, influences the things we like the idea of. Yeah, so luckily the tap's still flowing. We've got so many ideas yet to get out.
Where do your ideas come from then? Is it is it through a theme or is it just through being a family man or?
Well, I have them at night when I'm asleep. I wake up with a tune in my head. And luckily, probably 1 in 10 times it's still there in the morning, and 9 out of 10 times it's not. So I have been known to get out of bed and do a quick memo note on the phone with drum beating and stuff like that. And Claire doesn't sleep anyway, so she's 24 hours.
So how difficult is it for you both to get your music heard and gaining the fan base as well? Is it difficult for you guys to gain a fan base?
To be fair, we've only just. This is only our 4th gig, so it's very early days.
It's hard. There's so much out there. There's so much dross out there, and there's so much good stuff as well. And it's just getting through the dross, like to get to the good stuff, the good stuff you really want to hear. And it's endless. I don't know how many people put stuff up on Spotify every day. It's thousands.
Is it more harder for you being an electronic act to actually get places to actually play, whether it's Edinburgh or Fife or even Glasgow? Is it hard?
I think
is it hard to get up like venues for this kind of music?
We probably wouldn't do open mic nights, so a lot of people might start that way. If they've just got an acoustic or a band that they can translate into an acoustic set. There's quite a lot of open mic nights in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
we've thought about that, and we just don't think it would really work for us. Although we have talked about maybe acousticizing a couple of songs, but it wouldn't be us.
Enough to have a set.
Yeah, but then to do that just so that we can play an open mic night means changing our music so dramatically that what's the point?
You'd probably have to look down the covers set as well when you're doing something like that than original music, which you guys do.
Yeah, there are places that will only take bands because they want the audience to be able to sing along and be familiar with the songs, and so original music isn't always what people want.
No, not really.
So, what's the creative process it's like when you're writing? Is there a theme, and is there most of the songs you write through themes that you've got?
There's definitely a theme of what do you call it? Melancholy.
We don't really know at the time. We don't set out to do a certain thing, but I think looking back over the album that we've just finished, there are common themes. Sound-wise, it's quite melancholic.
I'm hoping a bit dramatic. I hope it tells a story. The flow, each song tells a story, but the songs between them, I think, you do go through a bit of a journey. They're not always connected. Sometimes they are, but just like life.
So how have you ever participated in any musical competitions? I know that's probably something. Would you do along the lines at some point? Do you think you might do something like that, or?
I haven't.
No.
I don't know what.
Or even in previous bands, have you done anything like that?
Well, in London there used to be Battle of the Bands down in Camden, didn't there? We did
But it
one of
wasn't a
those.
competition. Was it a competition?
It wasn't. Not really. No. They said it was, but I mean, it's a really strange thing between. There's often a funny atmosphere sometimes between bands, and we don't really understand it. We're quite the opposite. We're really friendly, and I think most people are in bands, but there seems to be sometimes that standoffishness. So I don't really like the battle of the band type.
Do you think it's too much like of a stigma kind of thing then, or just?
Yeah, it starts to become a bit X Factor.
I'm not really interested in competitions, to be honest, because who's judging it?
Yeah. I like crossword competitions.
Crosswords.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like crosswords. I do Wordle, I like that.
Oh dear, I've never
But then I'm
done that yet.
competing against myself. It's against yesterday's score.
You're always going to win.
How do you feel the internet has impacted the music industry, and do you think there's less people going to live music, like sort of grassroots music to the bands or songwriters that have been going for years?
So how does I didn't hear the first part of the question. How does
How do you feel the internet has impacted in the music industry?
well, it's just made it possible for anybody to put anything up. And it's just we don't need A&R men or record companies anymore. And that's what Andy was saying earlier. There's just so much there. You've got to sort of cut through all the noise.
Yeah, it's been good and it's been bad for the same reason. It's meant people would never get an A&R person getting them a record deal, and now I don't know if you've heard of Ren. He's just got a #1 album without a record company.
Do you think the record industry cuts off when you get to a certain age, and they just go, right, we're not interested anymore?
I think that's
absolutely.
true. Yeah,
Then say, right, if you reach 40 or 50, you're just like, we're not interested.
I think now once you pass your 20s, the record companies don't really know what to do with you. In our genre of music.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot actually, about how everything is so much inclusivity these days, but not for old people. There's no kind of we do feel a bit like there aren't many people our age doing this.
If we were in the classical genre, we'd be still quite young for it.
But nobody
jazz
would bat an eyelid if we were classical musicians.
Classical,
because
jazz,
we're doing this,
whatever. But if we were in electronic, hip hop or whatever, or pop, certainly pop, they're looking for the next fast hit, aren't they? Who's going to stream 30 billion?
Yeah.
Things. And a lot of that, which pop music has always been, is image, and young people looking at other young people for image. What do the record companies do with that?
Yeah. If you wanted to collaborate with an artist, who would you collaborate with?
David Sylvian.
You'd be straight away, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Well, probably quite a few.
Yeah, there's a
That
lot.
Joan the policewoman.
I love Joan. Joan Vassar. I love Stereo Lab. I've been a long time fan of Stereo Lab. So
All right.
I'd love to. And actually, we saw Stereo Lab last year, and
We did, yeah.
their support band was what's the name?
Don't ask me. They were fantastic.
It was what was the singer's name? The French one.
Yeah, Frederick. Sorry, we've just come off a gig,
Nina
so our brains are not working.
Nina Savary was her name. And we just loved her so much in her band, and we loved Stereo Lab as well. But it's really lovely when you go to a band and when you go and see a band, it's actually the support act that kind of knocks it out. And we just came away thinking we've got to find a way to contact Nina, and we tried a few times. We tried to find her on social media, but I think she's just blocked us.
Venues around the country are still struggling after COVID times as well. What do you think can be done to change the situation that we now see ourselves living in? And can live music survive for new bands or songwriters starting out in today's society, like yourselves?
It's really tough, isn't it? Because to be a small grassroots venue, you need to have a building, and then you've got the issue of rates, and just property costs, and people coming out to live music. If a large venue has something on, they can sell 5,000 tickets within minutes. And I don't know, people are just not always going to the small places. It's a really difficult situation, and I just don't know how you will solve that.
What do you feel about it, Clare?
Well, you asked about COVID and how
Yeah.
it's impacted on things. I kind of think that, in a way, COVID just feels like such a long time ago now.
It does, yeah.
Just cast your mind back to the time when you couldn't go out and you had to wear masks. But I think people really, now that we can be out and about, I do think there's a kind of renewed spirit to get around. So maybe it's done us a favour in some respects that people are just more. They want to get out more because they had so much time being locked down, and I don't know if that's the case or not, but I think it just makes you, if COVID doesn't feel like it's too far in history, too far back, it sometimes does, but I think it maybe has even subconsciously kind of flicked a switch and made us go, let's just get out there and do stuff and go and see things, because we were deprived of it for so long, so let's just go and take advantage of it all now where we can.
I think one thing that has worked that I've seen is there was a small festival in Dunfermline last month. So a promoter has got 5 grassroots venues and got a load of people in them and sold 1 ticket for the day. And it was pretty packed, wasn't it? Most of the places were really good. A £30 ticket meant you can go to any band.
Was that the Outwith, was it?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that could be definitely a way forward
It's a really good
to
idea.
do that. To do it. But then it takes somebody to have that vision and do that.
But even Music in the Community was a really good initiative.
Music in the Community, I don't know if you've heard of them.
Right.
They were definitely looking up. So they try and promote young bands, but not young bands. Bands in their early careers are not well known. So Music in the Community does a great thing. There's more things like that happening. Because if you don't have that, you're not going to get the big bands.
Yeah.
Soon the big bands will disappear. And what's left?
Hopefully I've got this one right. Your new single, Awen, is it Awen?
Awen.
It came out a few months ago back. Can you tell me a little bit of the story behind that song?
Well, it's actually just the name of the album. We don't have a song called Awen.
No, we never got around to doing that. Yeah, we should do. Yeah.
But that's the name of the album. That came about because when we were trying to get a logo for, you put together that little kind of symbol that was you at the keyboards and the mic stands. And somebody said, "Oh, that looks like the Cornish symbol for inspiration." Or something.
Okay.
And I looked it up, and it was quite similar. but the word for it was Arwen, and we just thought, well, that's quite a nice sounding word, and we quite liked what it stood for. It kind of fit with what we were trying to achieve. So
Is it Gaelic, is it, or where does it come from?
It's Cornish.
Right.
Well, even though you put a lot of hours in, it's still better than the
And we're still not sure how to pronounce it. You say Avon, I say Arwen. Oh well.
So if people want to get in touch with your music and that, you're on Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah, Alluma
all
Music,
these ones,
Yeah,
Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
Instagram, all the socials, Spotify.
Yeah.
But look for Alluma Music or Alluma.music. You'll find us somewhere.
And what's your plans for 2024? Have you got plans to do more gigs or release more new music?
No, we're gonna stop gigging for a bit because we just want to spend. We've both got loads of other stuff going on in our lives, so we just want to spend some more time writing. So it'll be the next album, writing the next album.
It's going to be quite a move on to A1 or R1 is one set of music that we put out. The new album, we've got a lot of the songs sketched out, and I think it's going to be quite a different vibe. So I can't wait to get back stuck into there in 2024. Get some more music out.
Well, thanks very much for your time, Clare
thanks, Mark.
and Andrew. I wish you all the very best, and have a good Christmas as well. And Christmas is just round the corner as well, and I look forward to seeing you again in 2024.
Yeah, and thanks, Mark.
so much.
And thanks for all the support for all the up-and-coming bands like us. You've been priceless, honestly. For the
Yeah,
last
it's a
2 or 3
pleasure.
years, honestly, you're golden person.
I do my very best.
You do.
Thanks very much.
Yeah,
thanks
thank you.
very much, both of you. Thank you.